Okay, well, I don't know how this is going to react to the wind in the outside world because it's a different setup and I don't have the furry things anyway, but the point being is I'm bringing you out here because I'm going to show you the monster from hell. Sorry about the if it's I won't put it on YouTube. Here's the monster. Dun, dun, dun. Vintage SG, right? Familiar. Horror. The true horror. So what we've got is a savaged vintage SG body which has turned into a single pickup travel guitar, which isn't really a travel guitar because being an SG anyway it's too long for that sort of thing. But what it is a single pickup, simple bridged affair with a custom shape, custom built scratch plate front and back, and a little cute little knob that actually works, volume control. That's all it's got. So I'm just looking at this thing thinking, well, it's his mad genius. I'm going to take it apart. I just realised, oh, I have the right one to begin with, but I need another one. So let me just go and get another one while you look at the thing. Right, it's probably just going to rain on me right now along with the wind, but anyway, I'm going to take this thing apart because first of all I want to know how and why. Damn it, why? It's a bit like Charlton Heston falling to his knees on the beach in Planet of the Apes, looking up at the nearly submerged Statue of Liberty, the symbol of all that was great and noble about the human race, now sunk low and humbled before the ape power. Anyway, the point is, I'm here asking that question, why? I think this guitar was broken in two before Graham got it, and I think this weird abomination is his response to being presented with a broken guitar. So, I mean, not that you need an excuse to butcher an SG, but anyway, the fun part is, like all the things that Graham's made, the late Graham, bless him, this plays, and it plays really well. Because he knew, maybe he didn't have an eye for the aesthetic so much, but he certainly knew how to make it play, and I really quite like that. So part of what I want to do is keep his things going, keep his things alive. Sorry if this is wobbling the camera, because he's gone. Died of throat cancer, and this is his kind of legacy, which is a bit strange really. Are you ready for it? Wow. My head hurts. Of course. Oh my God. Oh my God. The horror. The horror. This man is a genius. Look what he's done. It didn't even occur to me. That's how asleep I've been. He's turned it round. He's pulled the neck off and turned it round. That's the horns, of course, of the SG. Here's me thinking he'd cut this shape. I thought he'd sliced the horns off here and recut them. Anyway, the point is, that isn't something or other. Oh, I don't know. I feel ill. This is the front of the guitar originally. that's the original front of the guitar. This man's a genius. That's the front of the guitar. He's cut right the way through the bridge. Oh my god, no, yeah, no, what? Yeah. Right, the neck would have ended there originally. He's cut through the bridge pickup. There's the original bridge things. No idea what. No, that's right, that would have been the stop bar. Yeah, right. He's cut through right through the bridge pickup hole into the back. Filled that one with a great big lump, along with some araldite and some great chunk of metal, which is acting as a. This is a. Oh, okay, he's shielded it. Yeah, look, he's got a Faraday cage thing going on here, connecting to the earth thing, which connects to the new bridge post thing, which is amazing. And then he's chopped out a big chunk of wood and fitted it right in there to create a new end piece like no other. Then he's kind of carved away the back end of the guitar and made his own new hornifications, and amazingly he has araldited the neck back into here. And do you know what, right? It's out of tune, but now the late Graham, mad though he clearly was, knew what he was doing. And I don't care what butchery or what madness this is, I'm going to make it play again, and I'm actually going to, I think it deserves to be tidied up. As is, I think we can sand this flat, I think we can spray it a new colour altogether to give it a brand new lease of life, and I've got a colour in mind, but I'm going to reuse, possibly not these great big bolts, but I'm going to reuse this layout that he's got. I really love this silly little volume knob in its own little island, which has, holy caramba, well, it's got a hole there, which used to be a knob hole on the original body. He's used, oh god, my head hurts. He's used a portion of the original cavity back to front. What a mad, crazed, loony genius. Anyway, it plays, and it's going to play again. I don't even know if that's part of some of his chewing gum in there. Don't want to even go quite that close. But I'm going to clean this thing up, and I'm going to make it, spray it, I'm going to make it play again. Because, well, not play again, it already plays. But I'm just going to make it fun. I may have to give it away one day. I tell you, I don't think there's much hope of selling this. Not that I'd want to. I've got plenty to work on, as is. But I just think, good old fella, let's tidy this up and make it into a cleaner looking thing. It deserves to be. I could even put some wood filler or something on those bits, just to smooth it, level it out. There's no reason why it shouldn't look a bit tidier than this. Yeah. What a true genius. We could even keep his original plate, possibly. So he's done it all the way up here, I guess, to cover up the horror that is the neck join. Well, it's not horror at all. The guy's got it absolutely right. I mean, you know, he's put it together with exactly the right scale length for this guitar, for this neck. So he knew what he was doing, and he's got the bridge, even the bridge is at the right angle to intonate correctly. So he's intonated it. I mean, the posts here are furry and everything's filthy, but I'm just going to take it off and, yeah, I'm going to treat it the way it should be treated. You know, I'm not going to question, and you know, people can say, oh, it's a travesty or whatever. Well, maybe it is, but you know, the guy's dead. He's not here to answer for his mad genius, and I'm just going to let's clean this up and make it into, just bring it back to life again. There you go. Fantastic whole thing. Well, it suddenly occurred to me that since I was going right on ahead and chopping this thing up anyway, might as well carry on filming. I think you can see all right, can't you? Yeah. Sadly, Graham was clearly a heavy smoker. I'm not saying that just because I know he died of throat cancer, but also because these old guitars smell pretty bad. So part of one of the things I'm doing with all of them is obviously cleaning them up so that they're totally refreshed and don't carry on having that smell. But you can tell it's been in a house steeped in nicotine for a long time. And Paula in the market told me that he had them hanging on his walls. Oh, they just a pretty string. Don't want cats swallowing them or something. Yeah, so he had them all on his walls for years. Let's pull these off. So they would have absorbed tons of disgusting yellow gunk. Now I can talk because I quit smoking 12 years ago, something like that. So I know what it's like to be addicted to the horrible stuff. I will be washing my hands after this particular operation. So there's no neck to take off, so this is going to be all done neck on. Oh, the old nut is coming off. Oh God! I have no idea what that gook is in there, but that's going away anyway. Okay. Oh, it's all crumbly and sticky, like it's, God help me, it's blue tack or something, white tack. Graham obviously made do with what he had around to hand, bless him. So, okay, let's get everything off, including the tuners, because this thing is going through a complete trip through the laundry, or the petroleum ether equivalent of a laundry anyway. So everything's coming off. I'm going to go and get a container for the bits. Yeah, I'll need some unusual bits for this to take it apart, like for example a socket set. It's not usually what you'd expect. Let's see if this knob complies with my desire to remove it. Shoot. No. Okay. Maybe it comes off with this plate. Let us see, shall we? I mean, it's a very simple setup, so it wouldn't be hard to replicate, even if I have to slice a few wires here. But you know, he's one of the things that characterises what Graham's done is some just very, how cute, he's put a block of wood in here. Look, he's obviously used the original cavity and then covered over with a fill here and then shaped it. There's not a perfect finish, but you know, you can see that that's going to fit in there nicely. So for now, I'm just going to, we've got enough wire, so I'm just going to cut the thing. I'll just cut it a little bit before, so there's enough to pull off. We can clean up the switch as well. Sorry, the switch knob, you know what I mean. So there is the sweet little thing, and we'll re-insulate, you know, shield that as well, just as a tribute to the man. Like I said, I'm going to need to take this off with some other tool. We've got a kind of interesting soldered lump as our earth here. I'm going to cut that because I'm going to need to finish this, but end up with still that piece of metal. So let's cut it just half. No, let's cut it at the source. Push that in there for now. Now we know that these two, oh God, I almost dare not pull this stuff out. I don't really want to know what it is. It's like his chewing gum. He might have thought to himself, I'm never going to have this open again, so I'm going to stick it shut with chewing gum. Finger out of the way. Right, so basically I can just take this out altogether, and I think I will for now. We'll take everything off, that's the plan, and then give it as good a clean in every which way as possible, and then at the end of it all put it back together again in the same configuration. I'll just go for a single volume control, you know, as a tribute to the man's craziness. but I guess I may well fill a load of holes and hopefully flatten out some of this araldite-y, surfacey stuff, and then we should be able to just key it all up and actually spray it some nice colour. Now what's stopping it coming out? What is stopping it coming out? How's this? Okay, I'm not quite sure what the thing is that's going on here. It's still okay. It's a different, yeah, right. It's a different setup from normal, so I have to take these off to get it out, and I'll try and catch the springs if they're going to drop off. This is not a conventional way of doing things, but that's how it's going to be done. So I have to just remember that this comes apart in a bit of a weird way. So in fact the oops, there it goes. The frame here is holding the pickup up as opposed to tethering it down. And there go the springs, but they should have stuck. Oh no, dropped off. Okay, not a problem. Can always find more springs. So we've got one earth wire coming to. I'm going to do something here. I'm going to just split this so I can see the logic of what he had. So he's got the pickup wire comes. Two pickup wires go to the volume control, as does this single earth. Is it a single earth? No, it's two, but it's only been used as an earth, I think. And then we've got the single ground wire, which is the one that comes to the thing. Now I'm just going to double that back in there for the time being, because I just want to remember that that's the bit that doubles over to the earth there. And I have to go and now maybe my adjustable doofer can do this. Ooh, yeah. Off comes the bridge with loads of grubby stuff underneath. But yeah, you know, he's got it. He's got it sort of. He's got it working fine. The intonation. It's a compensated bridge. It's actually is that compensated? Yeah, for a wound G, I think, which it doesn't have. But maybe it needs to have one when we come back after. Let's just see if these bushings work, or I don't even quite know what this is bolted into. What I do know is that it holds pretty well. It's pretty. Wow, that's some typical galvanized garden bolt with the end sheared off, and I think that's straight into the wood, so there's no bushing in there. I'll give you a close-up look in a sec when I've got this one out. Might have to refer back to this video to how to reassemble it. I've got a kind of an orange feeling in mind for this. That's because I've got some orange paint just waiting to be sprayed onto some unsuspecting guitar of some sort, and what better than this complete weirdo thing. But like I said, I played it and it blasted well works. Now the bit we've got obviously coming out here is the earth, sorry, not the earth, this red wire here goes out to the okay, I'll just lose that bit. This goes to the jack output, obviously, which is also going to need to come off. I'll need a different kind of device for that. Off comes this Darth Vader. It's oozing goo. Well, there we have it. The weirdness. Yeah, I'll go and get a grippy thing to try and persuade yonder jack plug socket to come off. But you know, having sort of said all of this, it's actually intact. You know, it's going to play. It played pretty well. That's what I really like about his stuff. It just plays really well already. And I'm going to need to put these somewhere. I'll put them in the pile and sort them out later. yeah, he's had obviously a keen eye for what he was doing, and a love for it. There's no doubt about it. He was definitely a tinkerer. The tinkerer got the absolute basics right. He knew how to make the guitar play well in terms of its action and its basic mechanics. And you know, doing what I do and being really loved guitars, that's the sort of bit I kind of admire most, really. Obviously he wasn't that hung up on the looks of things. There are some monstrosities in amongst his stuff. It's subjective. You might not consider this one a monstrosity, but I know there's a lot of people that would. But yeah, he's concentrated on how it played, and it sort of you know, having gone through his bins of parts, and you know, what I'm seeing in terms of guitars is just a small output of all those years of tinkering. Judging by the parts bins, he must have been doing this for years on end. And I don't know if and when well, not if, of course he stopped. I mean, the poor guy couldn't eat or drink towards the end of his life, apparently. But I guess what I don't know is when he stopped doing it. And I also don't know when, if ever, at what point he stopped playing as well. These are knackered, but I've got plenty more of these where they came from. Just get them out, that's the main thing. There we have it. Ooh. Yeah, so I mean, I've given this a clean already, but it's going to need more. All these parts, like these tuners, are going to get good. Oh my god, has he glued them on? Oh dear. I have a bad feeling about this. Why is that stuck? Oh, no, it's just old age. Okay, so yeah. So, you know, basically all the measurements here are fixed. The position of the bridge fixed by those holes. The only thing that could adjust at all on it is the angle of it with the little adjusters, but providing those go back in the same way, then presume the intonation will be as good as it was. We just need to clear it out, rewire it. I don't know what make pickup this is, and I've got options to put any number of other things in. So, but it's always going to be. I'm going to keep it as a single pickup thing because, you know, those are all the rage, aren't they? And this is before. Come on, this is pre-Wilkinson. This is a JHS vintage, I think. Anyway, it looks like that. So what I mean by that is I don't think it would have automatically come with Wilkinson pickups, and therefore I think this is one of the generic ones. And I have had these SGs before and they've been pretty good. Pickups I've found quite good. But we can splash out and put something maybe a bit unusual. In fact, oh god, this is a bit crunky. There was one amongst his stuff that was really an odd looking thing that I think would, if it works, would be worth experimenting with, because it's just a weird thing. Oh, I can't get this one off very easily. Let's try. It's grinding its way off, but it will come out eventually. Thank you. Something was counter-cutting there. There's also a little bit of wire stuck on there, which might have been the problem. Right, so it should still work, especially if I recut it by doing it up again. Yeah, and these would have been the pre-Wilkinson tuners as well, by the looks of it. Well, they are, which again worked perfectly well. They just didn't have quite the same kudos and respect in the business as the Wilkinson stuff. Okay, so not perfect a thread, but it'll do the job. Okay. God, it's so light. Now the problem with this is that it's going to be even more top heavy, theoretically, but you know this guy, what am I missing? I am missing a tail strap button, so I haven't had this on a strap, so I'm going to have to see by the time we put stuff back on just exactly how this hangs when it's got all its stuff on, but we can move that around at the very end if we need to, if there's anywhere we can move it. But there you go, we've got Graham's old beastie, and I could happily sand that flat and then get it sort of keyed up ready for a spray in some other colour, and hopefully even with a bit of I don't know, maybe even just a bit of wood filler or something that we can prime to fill these little bits in as well. Yeah, pretty good. I'm not sure about this grey back plate, but I don't suppose we've got much choice unless I want to spray that as well, and there's no reason why not to. Does the job, but there's no real pretty way of, I don't suppose. No, I mean I'd have to spend a lot of time filling all these little holes in, so maybe we'll just live with this back plate, and which means we technically don't really have to worry too much about the surface back here, but I'll have a think about that as we go through, but some more cleaning coming up and some more hand washing. This is literally dripping in nicotine really. Okay, so there we have it, complete madness, and as far as I can see the neck is pretty well good. Just looking up close, the frets aren't bad at all. There's a tiny bit of wear down here, but nothing major. These will level out and dress up beautifully as well, so this guitar will play pretty well. It's a little bit rough where he's done the cutting around here, and actually there's no reason why, if I have the time to sort of prime it again, there's no reason I couldn't polish this out or sand it out. But actually I think I would just rather see if I can flatten it a bit in the process of keying it for another coat, and then just spray with plastic coat and see where we go. And for that I will just mask off the entire fingerboard and do everything else, and I think I might even lose the vintage on here. In fact, just do the whole thing, maybe, or maybe keep that and just mask it off as well, and then just do everything else. We'll see. Anyway, hope that was weird and wonderful and interesting. I was going to lean it against something, but I can't. Yeah, so I'll just take you back in to park you in the shed and get a container for all these parts, because I think it's time to get a hammock out. Just as I'm going in, here's the latest cutting, which I'll get the drum, not sander, the handheld drill bit sander attachment thing, and give this a nice shaping off, and then I'll do some manual sanding. But this is going to be a headstock for another oak caster, but it's got a fair bit of work to do, but refret, lacquer the fingerboard. But it's a nice old Kimbara neck, from a Kimbara Strat style neck, but it appears to work. Everything seems to be good on it, so yeah, hey, I'll leave it out here because I'll be working on it. Okay, so pulling apart of the funnies, part 1 done. I'm going to stop you and put you on charge.